Homefront makes me a little sick. I first played through the short campaign a couple of years ago, and yet it still likes to sometimes emerge in my stream of consciousness to fuck with my head. The game is set in a bleak future where North Korea has taken over South Korea, and then invaded an economically crippled United States of America. The game opens up with you being taken from your home by the Korean occupation, who are gleefully committing atrocities in open daylight because they can. So, naturally, when you are rescued from your captors by resistance members, it's gonna be super fun, nationalistic fuck Korea vengeance time, right? Well, not entirely right, not entirely wrong. Homefront is a touch subversive, and while it indulges in its share of vengeful bloodshed, it uses the conventions of contemporary set-piece-driven first-person shooters to tell a story that examines their mentality with a more critical eye. The game personifies the entire genre in the form of an overly patriotic Texan character, and then through dialogue with the other characters, it goes out of its way to show how big a dick that guy is for most of the game, never quite fully condemning him, and even giving him some sympathetic moments, but most of the time going very far to point out how much of an asshole he can be.
Please.
Beat it.
I haven't eaten for days. I'll take anything you got.
I don't have any food. Piss off.
And just in case the game hadn't hammered home its bait-and-switch anti-nationalism message enough, it shows you what essentially amounts to a concentration camp run by another resistance group that likes to kidnap, enslave, torture, and murder their Korean oppressors for fun. What makes this scene so disturbing is not just the ugliness of what's going on, but the creeping sense that you know at least a couple people who would probably be willing to participate in something like this, under the circumstances the story's premise creates. The Call of Duty clone gameplay is functional, familiar, and reasonably well executed, even if it never quite runs as smoothly or looks as sharp as Activision's cash cow. You aim, you shoot, you sprint, you stab, and you hide out of view to regenerate your health. And if you like that kind of gameplay, this game will entertain and challenge you while it has you. But the game is extremely short. It also ends very abruptly, leaving the impression that the developers may have run out of time to do everything they wanted, and had to just wrap it up and ship what they had. Upon its release, the game's brevity was a notorious sore point, but given how inexpensive the game is now, it's definitely worth picking up just to experience the story. In fact, it might even be for the best that the game is so short, because for being only a few hours in length, it could haunt you for a long time. It might be the runty little brother of bigger, longer, and more polished games of its type, but Homefront has a very unique soul. It doesn't fully succeed in its ambitions as pop entertainment, but as a work of art, I definitely appreciate it and recommend it to fans of shooters, especially those who are looking for a more thought-provoking story to accompany the violent action.